Tonight on Elon Local News.
It's become okay to say that things lesser than rape are not serious.
We talked to one student about her unique experience with sexual violence.
As the year comes to a close, we check in with student researchers whose prize-winning ideas have come to fruition.
And we found one pair of siblings who bring the heat to a local food truck scene.
All that and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Maya Eaglin.
And I'm Perry Elliott Durrani. We begin tonight with an issue that's making headlines at universities and colleges all across the nation, as well as here at Elon: sexual assault.
According to a Title IX survey sent out last spring, many Elon students feel safe on campus. However, that same survey found Elon students had a higher rate of reported sexual violence compared to other universities. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and our Jamie Snover spoke to one Elon student who has been affected by sexual violence.
Junior Shay Friedman says she experienced a stalking-related incident last year. She says the experience made her realize how broad the definition of sexual violence is.
It's become okay to say that things lesser than rape are not serious because they're not vaginal penetration, which isn't the case.
Friedman reported her case to Student Conduct. However, Associate Dean of Students Janelyn Patterson says this practice is actually uncommon.
Most students, though, chose not to report because they didn't think it was serious enough to report.
Though Friedman believes her incident of stalking was taken seriously by Student Conduct, her stalker could not be identified. This result still affects her today.
This person has, in my situation, affected me so gravely. I've missed classes, I've had panic attacks because I don't know who they are, and that's terrifying.
Students can report acts of sexual violence by dialing Safeline, a 24/7 advocacy hotline, or even visiting the Sparks office. Sparks peer educator Ian Pomeroy says moving forward is different for everyone.
I think it's really important to make sure that we don't define what the next steps should be, because it's really up to the survivor of sexual assault. Because if we start to put what should be done onto them, then that's taking away the power that they have.
A power that Friedman has only recently felt.
It's been an experience, but I think that it's made me stronger.
Jamie Snover, Elon Local News.
In honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the university is offering programming about sexual assault prevention this week. The Department of Health and Promotion and Violence Response are partnering with the North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence, also known as NCC-ADV, to initiate a social change workshop. Stop by Lakeside 212 on Wednesday the 13th from 4 to 6:30 to learn how you can help make progress on campus regarding sexual violence. For more information, go to elonnewsnetwork.com or pick up a copy of The Pendulum on Wednesday morning. The issue will have a more in-depth look at sexual assault on campus and more information on related events happening this month.
Elon Hillel is celebrating Passover right now in McKinnon Hall. Passover is an 8-day festival commemorating the freedom of the Israelites from slavery in ancient Egypt, something sophomore Mara Waxman hopes students remember during the celebration.
So it's mostly going to be prayers and explanations of why we do, reminders of why we do certain things in this order, and why we eat matzah, and why we remember and retell the story of the Jews leaving Egypt.
This month is Asian and Pacific Islander, or API, Heritage Month, but right now there are no events on Elon's cultural calendar. While sophomore Molly Herman Gallo will be celebrating with her friends from the Center of Race, Ethnicity, and Diversity Education, also known as CREED, she says it's hard for her to make those connections on a daily basis around campus. For more information on how Asian Pacific Islander Month and the experiences of API students on campus, pick up a copy of The Pendulum that'll be available on Wednesday.
There will be a panel on Tuesday to discuss the current conflict in Syria. The United States military intervention has sparked conversation all around campus. Last Thursday, President Trump called for the U.S. to launch 59 cruise missiles at a Syrian airbase in response to a deadly chemical weapons attack that killed dozens of civilians. The panel at Elon will be moderated by at least 3 political science professors, including Professor Jason Kirk.
So because it might be significant both for the Syrian conflict, because it might be significant both for American policy more generally, we thought it would be important to have this discussion as soon as possible after the event.
The panel will be taking place tomorrow night from 4:15 to 5:15 in Mosley 215.
Neil Gorsuch was sworn in as a Supreme Court justice earlier today. Gorsuch had 2 swearing-in ceremonies after a long and controversial selection process. Democrats filibustered his selection until Republicans reduced the number of Senate votes needed for a simple majority. Gorsuch's confirmation has gotten people talking about the future of the Supreme Court, including the students and political science professor Carrie Eves' classes.
We just sort of try to play out the what-if scenarios on both sides and try to keep our personal opinions out of it and sort of use a strategist or political scientist hat to sort of examine what we know. And that keeps the conversations always very civil.
And to make sure you continue having the opportunity to talk about national news in classes like Eves, don't forget, registration, it begins tomorrow. After the break, we have the tips you might need to make the most out of your schedule.
And we talked to 2 seniors who have had research hours on their schedule over the past 2 years. Over the weekend, Elon Dance Marathon raised over $350,000 to benefit Duke Children's Hospital. Despite a roughly 300-person decrease in registration from 2015, they still broke records. Fundraising pushes before and during the dance marathon, as well as individual fundraising and corporate sponsorships from companies like Walmart, Chick-fil-A, Pelican Snowballs, and The Mission all helped to exceed Elon-thon's $300,000 goal. In the 15 years of Elon-thon, the dance marathon has raised a total of over $2 million, with this year setting the record for the most money raised.
It's Monday, which means students are gearing up for the busy week ahead. This week at Elon, the community is invited to hear the sweet sounds of Elon Orchestra. They'll be performing in their spring concert tomorrow at 7:30 in McCrary Theater.
On Wednesday, Kay Bailey Hutchinson, a retired U.S. Senator and named as one of the world's 100 most powerful women, will be speaking at Elon Law in Greensboro at 6:30. And on Thursday, the women's track and field versus Phoenix Invitational will be held at 8 p.m. at Elon.
Well, it may be hard for us to believe, Maya, but summer and fall registration, they begin tomorrow.
Unbelievable.
Students across campus will be racing to get to the classes, times, and professors they want for the upcoming summer college and fall semester.
Registration begins tomorrow at 7 a.m. for students who have more than 76 credits. Check your OnTrack account to make sure you have registration approval from your advisor. It will also tell you what time you can register. And here are some tips for success. Pre-register your classes on OnTrack. This will allow you to register as close to your registration time as possible. Plan out at least 2 different schedules that you would be happy with and add some extra classes that you wouldn't mind taking in your cart. You can never have too many backup classes because popular courses can fill up quickly.
Be sure to ask your friends and mentors for advice on professors and courses. That can make a big difference. Also, make sure you have a steady Wi-Fi connection and set an alarm 5 minutes before your registration time. Of course, if you have any questions, you can contact your advisor or the registrar's office. You may have noticed some construction as you cross the railroad tracks next to campus. According to the Elon Fire Department, routine maintenance is underway at the railroad tracks that intersect with Church Street, North Williamson Avenue, and South Oak Avenue. The project is doing work on every railroad intersection in the county. The intersections in Elon are expected to finish in the next 2 weeks.
Elon is using solar panels to power dorms in Danley community now. So the solar panels on Danley K and I are thermal solar panels used to generate hot water. The same panels can be found in colonnades for the same purpose. The solar panels are a part of Elon's plan to continue sustainable efforts across campus and to lower energy costs.
Coming up, we've got the scoop on how a local ice cream shop is melting the hearts of community members.
And I'm Jasmine here with your Phoenix 5-day forecast, plus how to power through pollen season.
Perfect. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
so our Jasmine is here with us, and hopefully this weather can continue. Jasmine, what do you have?
Thanks, Maya and Perry. Today was absolutely gorgeous. The sun was shining, was nice, warm, not too hot. A great day to just kind of hang out outside and do your homework. And you can expect to see similar temperatures throughout the rest of the week. So let's take a look at that Phoenix 5-day forecast. On Tuesday, it'll be a high of 81 with a low of 56 and partly cloudy skies. On Wednesday, it'll be a high of 80 and a low of 54 with some cloudy skies. On Thursday, it'll be a high of 77 and a low of 53. And on Friday, it'll be a high of 79 with a low of 55. And then on Saturday, it'll also be a high of 78 with a low of 59 with some partly cloudy skies as well. So that's all for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. And while there's some warm weather and sunshine out, there's also pollen. So pollen levels have been at record highs this year, so I asked Dr. Jeanette Archinal for some tips for those of us who suffer from seasonal allergies. So some of the tips she gave were to take your medications a month in advance, get that medicine in you and let it start working so your sinuses don't flare up too bad. Be aware of your symptoms to know when they will appear. Wash your hair daily to rinse out pollen particles you could potentially breathe in while you sleep, and to also watch the pollen count. So to track pollen in the area, check out the website pollen.com. On the site, you can compare pollen counts from city to city, and if you click on the forecast tab, it will show you how high the pollen count is for the day and some of the top allergens in the area. So that's all for this week's weather. So hang in there, Elon, go outside, enjoy the upcoming sunshine, but be sure to keep checking on those pollen levels to keep your eyes and sinuses clear. Back to you guys, Maya and Perry.
That makes sense. I've been sniffling and pollen.
Keeping tissues in my backpack, so.
Never thought of the showering before you go to bed thing.
Those are some great tips.
Great tips. Thank you, Jasmine. The Lumen Prize is a $15,000 scholarship awarded to students in the spring of their sophomore year who are passionate about pursuing academic research that they say will change the world. Well, this year's winners have yet to be announced. The 2-year efforts of Elon's senior Lumen scholars, they're wrapping up now. Our Megan Gittleman checked out where 2 of those students' research has taken them.
Senior Mary Claire Schultz found her passion for communications at Live Oak Communications, Elon's student-run public relations organization. And as a Lumen Prize scholar, Schultz has been researching corporate social responsibility.
I'm specifically doing a case study on one of Coca-Cola's CSR initiatives, which is called the 5x20 initiative, and it's meant to empower 5 million women by 2020. And it's sort of great to see the academic field of communications versus more practical applications of communications.
As graduation nears, Schultz is confident her work as a Lumen Scholar will pay off.
Everything that I've learned about corporate social responsibility and effective communications of initiatives will really help me in my future career.
Walk across Scott Plaza and you'll find her fellow Lumen Scholar, Peter Jakes, who grew up with a passion for math.
It's always come pretty easily to me, and I've just really enjoyed doing it.
A passion that led him dive straight into research his freshman year, focused on complex polynomial equations.
Once you get up to degree 5, some of them are solvable and some of them are not. Right now I'm just calling up the function that we've created.
Jake's goal is to speed up the time it takes to solve them, and is currently creating a user-friendly website that gives users critical information about the equations they hope to solve. Both Jakes and Schultz have presented at conferences throughout North Carolina and across the country.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking because oftentimes you're presenting alongside grad students, either master's or PhD students, and professionals. So that's been a little bit scary, but everyone's been really encouraging so far.
Megan Gittleman, Elon Local News.
To learn more about Schultz and Jakes' research or any of the many students who participate in undergraduate research each year, you can stop by the Spring Undergraduate Research Forum presentations, that's also known as Surf Day, on April 25th.
And after the break, one pair of siblings has gained a fan base over their food trucks.
Well, I could say firsthand, there's nothing a college student loves more than hearing about free ice cream. Elon students and the community members lined up for their chance to enjoy a free cone from Smitty's in honor of their 15th birthday, with crowds snaking all around the building, and I do mean all around the building, and into the street. Smitty's co-founder and co-owner, Amy Knockley, estimated about 1,000 people came up for free ice cream.
It's expensive, but we feel our community is worth it. I mean, they've given to us for 15 years, and you know, when you feel that kind of love coming out from the community, you just want to get it right back. So this is something we do with joy. We do. We're quite happy to be able to do it. So we're glad people have come out. The fact that people came out in throngs the way they did shows that, you know, they love us right back. So that's really important. I did want to mention as well that Kickstarter is a platform whereby you are donating to a certain project to help it get off the ground.
Also gave the community the inside scoop on Smitty's business expansion. You heard her start to mention it there at the end of that clip. Ice cream lovers can look for a new location in downtown Burlington, set to open in May. The owners are promoting a Kickstarter to fund a new shop, hoping the community will chip in to help Smitty's become a part of the ongoing revitalization of downtown Burlington.
Construction on a new cooperative brewery and restaurant could be underway in downtown Burlington. Burlington Beer Works is a $1.8 million project. Fundraising for the project has been a community effort, with Burlington residents donating to become part owners and investors. About 1,600 people have invested in the company so far, and the company hopes to reach 2,000 investors by opening day. A $50,000 state grant could be issued through the North Carolina Department of Commerce if they are able to renovate a building at 302 South Main Street and create jobs for the area.
Grove Winery in Gibsonville was the home to North Carolina's Food Truck Rodeo on Sunday. Our Jackie Pascal found one food truck there that is bringing their international roots to local North Carolina spots. Check it out.
Sunny and 75, music in the air, and children playing. Even on a warm, sunny day, the food of choice was hot.
Especially the Haitian food. I haven't had much of it, but the little bit that I have had, I've enjoyed. And out of the food that I have had, this has been the best.
This food truck named King Queen Haitian Cuisine combines the cooking skills and hard work of siblings from Haiti, Hilder and DJ Villeneuve.
Well, that's my brother, Trent. He always want to have a food truck. He loves cooking. He's been cooking since he was a little kid.
The duo has gained a fan base over the 4 years they've been in business.
Our customers are very supportive. Like, they will follow us around. Like, some people will even call us to know where we at.
Because they do events at a craft beer place by our house, so they're there all the time. And then we've caught them downtown. We caught them here. I'm just a fan of their food.
Their secret weapons are their window greeter and their spices. I got to try their special of the day, and
this is so good.
Food trucks are always trying new things, and this one brings the flavors of the Caribbean to North Carolina. Jackie Pascal, Elon Local News.
Wow, no wonder they were getting so popular. That little girl was so cute.
I know, what a great way to pull in customers. I mean, she was adorable.
Oh my God, have you ever had Haitian food? I
don't think I've had Haitian, but I've had that Afro-Caribbean food, and I'm sure those similars are pretty similar, those flavors.
Yeah.
But I would love to try it. Maybe they could come to our food truck frenzy.
I love food trucks. I wish they were like around more often. If there were food trucks all around Elon.
I know, it's such a great way to try all these new
I'd lose
dishes.
so much money. You can find out where the food truck will be next on their Facebook page by searching King Queen Haitian Cuisine.
And that's all we have for you tonight.
Thank you for your time. For all the news you need to know, you can check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And you can follow us on all our social media as well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Elon News Network.
From all of us here at Elon Local News, have a great night.